A high school principal in Texas was recently arrested on assault charges after paddling a student consistent with the school board's corporal punishment policy. Let's have a look. Before we get into the article, let me say this. I didn't know that we were still doing corporal punishment. I didn't know that that was still a thing. So this is news to me. I now find that not only does Texas still have a corporal punishment policy, but Florida and several other states also have corporal punishment policies. So I invite my viewers who are advocates of corporal punishment or advocates of this type of disciplinary practice to leave a comment below and just let me help me to understand your position on this issue, because while I don't share it, I am genuinely interested in understanding why we are allowing school administrators to paddle children. So I'd appreciate it if you would leave a comment regarding that. That said, let's get into the article. This is an article out of USA Today. It says, substantial bruising. Texas high school principal arrested on assault charge in paddling. A principal at a public high school in Northeast Texas has been arrested in connection with the paddling of a teenage girl at the start of the school year. Overton High School principal Jeffrey Darrell Hogg was arrested Wednesday on one count of assault causing bodily injury stemming from the August 14th spanking at the school about 120 miles southeast of Dallas, court records show. Hogg, who hadn't been formally charged by Friday, has an unlisted phone number, and it's unclear whether he has an attorney. A Rusk County Sheriff's Office deputy wrote that Hogg struck a student with a wooden paddle at school as punishment and hit her with such force that she had bruising at least 48 hours after the paddling. The girl's mother, who was in the room at the time of the paddling, reported it to deputies the following day, according to the affidavit, which doesn't say why the student was being punished. The mother had given the school permission to use corporal punishment on her daughter, which included 3 strikes on the butt. But after the second hit, the student told the principal she did not want the last strike. The deputy wrote that the student said the second hit was harder than the first hit, and she had never hurt like that. Hogg then reportedly told the girl, "It would be a shame to have to go to in-school suspension when she only had 1 lick left," the affidavit said. After agreeing to take the third paddle, the student took photos throughout the day of the developing bruises. The next day, the student was interviewed by the local child advocacy center and a nurse examined the bruises. After at least 32 hours, the nurse noted the student suffered substantial bruising, swelling, and heat where she had been paddled. Photos of the student's injuries were sent to a pediatrician for evaluation, and the doctor told deputies Tuesday that physical punishment that results in injuries that last longer than 24 hours is consistent with physical abuse. A Rusk County Jail spokesperson said Hogg was booked into the jail Wednesday and posted a $2,000 bond. Hogg has not been formally charged with a crime. Rusk County District Court Clerk Terry Willard said Friday. Rusk County Sheriff John Wayne Valdez could not immediately be reached by USA Today Friday morning. Nearly 24 states, including Texas, currently allow corporal punishment in schools. Overton County School District Superintendent could not immediately be reached Friday morning. One day after the spanking, the district posted a statement on its Facebook page regarding a recent student discipline issue. According to the post, a female teacher also witnessed the spanking with the girl's mother. After each swat, the student had a choice of whether to continue, the August 16th post reads. The student did consider discontinuing and serving in-school suspension instead, but twice the parent encouraged the student to just keep going and get it over with. The principal remained empathetic and calm throughout, checking with the student before proceeding. At no time did the parent or witnessing teacher express any concern that the swats were too harsh or overly aggressive. The district continued to say that there is never an intent to harm students. Any administered consequence is in an effort to help students learn, grow, and make positive choices, the post said. The district will look deeper into this incident and reflect on our current policies and any indicated modifications that may help us better serve our students and community. So it looks like the advocates of this type of policy see it as a service to the students and the community. And I would assume that this is kind of an isolated incident where a student has bruising that lasts, over 24 hours. I can't imagine being paddled 3 times on the buttocks and not having bruising, significant bruising after that. I know what a paddle is, and it's a pretty large wooden object, and that is likely to leave bruising. So either students aren't getting bruised, which means they aren't being hit very hard, or they're not documenting the bruising like this student did and then reporting it like this student did. That said, let's have a look at Texas law to see what it says. So this is from safesupportivelearning.ed.gov, and I'll leave a link to this in the information below. And you can look up any state's laws regarding school-related matters here. As far as corporal punishment, the statute says in this section, corporal punishment means the deliberate infliction of physical pain by hitting, paddling, spanking, slapping, or any other physical force used as a means of discipline. The term does not include physical pain caused by reasonable physical activities associated with athletic training, competition, or physical education, or the use of restraint as authorized under a different section. If the Board of Trustees of an independent school district adopts a policy under a section under which corporal punishment is permitted as a method of student discipline, a district educator may use corporal punishment to discipline a student unless the student's parent or guardian or other person having lawful control over the student has previously provided a written, signed statement prohibiting the use of corporal punishment as a method of student discipline. To prohibit the use of corporal punishment as a method of student discipline, each school year, a student's parent or guardian or other person having lawful control over the student must provide a separate written, signed statement to the Board of Trustees of the school district in the matter established by the board. The student's parent or guardian or other person having lawful control over the student may revoke the statement provided to the Board of Trustees under subsection C at any time during the school year by submitting a written, signed revocation to the board in the matter established by the board. So essentially, in any school district that permits corporal punishment in Texas, the parent or guardian has to opt out of the corporal punishment. It's not an opt-in provision. Here in Florida, I believe it's an opt-in provision. But there it's an opt-out provision. So if a parent doesn't know of this corporal punishment policy, then they pretty much opted in because they're not signing an opt-out statement. And even though the parent was present for this child's punishment, it doesn't look from the statute like that's required, though it may be required by the individual school boards or the individual schools. I'm a little unsure. But, as far as my children are concerned, I would not want to be under a provision such as this. I'd certainly be opting out. But again, I invite you to comment below and, help me understand a different point of view. For now, my name is Nathan Saunders, and this is The Legal Good.